welcome back to another edition of Idology, your weekly deep dive into all things American Idol. Here on our set, we're chair dancing to the sounds of Jessica Sanchez. Put your hands up! If that can't be a hit, what can be? We're here with season 6 standout Melinda Doolittle, live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Let's talk about Beatles week, as Beyonce and Jay-Z would say. It was an upgrade-ya theme.
Let me upgrade ya, grade ya.
They went from whatever that theme was to Beatles week. Thank God, right?
Thank God. I was so excited that this week was something that I absolutely loved.
You and I are in some disagreement about certain contestants. Maybe we should start the conversation with Angie Miller. I mean, I thought she was excellent this week if she was auditioning for Cats. Suddenly. I expected Curtis Finch Jr. to come out as the Rum Tum Tugger.
She was sublime. I mean, stop it.
Suddenly. Grizabella.
The tone that came out of her mouth was absolutely gorgeous. What she did with that song was beautiful. I mean, whether you looked at her singing or you closed your eyes, either way, to me, it was perfection.
Now I long for yesterday.
All that stuff that you're saying about Cats and all that, at least she tried to show some emotion while she was singing, as opposed to the rest of the contestants, for the most part, that were like blank faced because they didn't know what the song was about.
I hate to agree with Jimmy, but or maybe Jimmy's agreeing with me. I always feel like he's reading all the recaps on the internet and all the message boards and then responding to that.
We get a lot of young kids that come in out of high school. They just dramatize everything.
Well, I disagree with both you and Jimmy.
While we're discussing people who did or didn't get what they were singing about, I loved Amber Holcomb this week. I loved She's Leaving Home. And I felt like she completely understood what she was singing about. She gave me a full-length soap opera in a very short amount of time.
Do this to me.
She should not have been in the bottom 3. The girl sang the heck out of that song. She really did. She made it look easy. All of that is great. I don't think that she emoted, though. I mean, I think that she looked a little sad, but I did not see a soap opera. All my children was not up on that stage at all. At all. I love Amber. I just feel like sometimes she gets into whatever emotion she's going to be in, like this song is sad, and then she can't quite change it.
Interesting.
There was no like arc of emotions. It was just the one that just kind of stayed in one place. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go with the judges, even though I love her voice and she better not ever be in the bottom 3 again.
So Melinda, it's fun when we disagree, AKA when you're wrong, but sorry.
You almost got my side eye. Hold up now.
But let's talk about the 2 contestants I think we can both agree on, and we have to start with Miss Candace Glover. Here comes Miss Candace.
First of all, thank you for picking an upbeat song, Candace.
Thank you.
When she did Muddy Water.
Oh my God.
When she went down Muddy Water, I lost it.
He got muddy water, he won water filter.
I even like how on the second verse she played with tempo. It was like she sort of syncopated it. She definitely gave it the sh-doop-doop-boom. If you had to sum up what she did in one word, that was it.
Ship-a-doop-boom.
But you know who was also amazing this week was Janelle. And I really was glad to see her perform at the level that we know she's capable of, because I feel like we saw great things in Hollywood Week and in her audition that have not quite come to life on the Idol stage.
And you to me.
She took it in this quiet, restrained, beautiful direction.
I love the parts of her voice that she used. I love that she didn't feel the need to just belt out those high notes, but she just kind of was lilty with them and kind of just hit them and came down off of them. And I love the restraint that she showed. I love the emotion. I love the white dress. I love the cowboy boots. I love the side pony. Janelle, you did it. You did it. It was amazing.
Happy to see Janelle back in the competition. I actually ranked her above Cree this week. Cree, for me, there was just a little bit of energy missing from her. It wasn't a bad performance.
Said I'm gonna try a little help from my friends.
Can we agree that she was vocally flawless, though?
Absolutely.
Okay. As long as we can agree on that, because I see what you're saying. On a song like Little Help from My Friends, you kind of want to see that energy and that joy, and she had a little less of it than what I wanted, but kind of across the board, that was how the night went.
Cree, I would have ranked her 4th this week, but I think the women as a whole are clearly pulling away from the men. And it's weird because Burnell has a gorgeous voice.
Speaking the words of wisdom, let it be.
Devin hits every note of every song he does.
Seen that road before.
I thought Paul was actually better this week on Eleanor Rigby than he's been at any point in the competition.
Oh, the lonely people, where do they all belong?
But there seems to be like an emotional disconnect, and also a disconnect in terms of what's going on the face.
That is truth. Now, in theory, women are more emotional than men, right? So maybe the men have that sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay. Maybe the men have a bit of a disconnect there. And I know that with Burnell, his vocal was gorgeous, but he kind of did have a little bit of a blank stare on his face. But he was also trying to remember the words. Like, he was singing a song he had never heard in his life, which I don't even know how that happens.
I don't know the song at all.
I was a little horrified as well that Burnell had never even heard Let It Be.
This whole thing about not knowing Beatles songs puts me off a little bit.
I know it put him at a disadvantage, but on the other hand, if you are going to be a professional singer, if you want to do this for a living, you should be able to hear a song once or twice and get the emotion of it and get the feeling of it. I don't buy that in the course of a week, he can't pull together what he's supposed to feel and what he wants to make us feel in terms of the song. And if he is actually incapable of that, then he's going to have a very short journey.
In the course of a week, a lot happens when you're a contestant on American Idol. The concentration level is so high. It's so high. So some people handle it better than others.
While we're talking about how difficult it is to learn all this in a short space, did Lazaro have a day to learn his song, or did he have 5?
He said he learned the song the night before when I worked with him on the song 5 days prior.
Oh, they called him out.
He got called out.
Hurt.
I don't know that I heard in my life during the Wednesday night show, because none of those notes were what I'm used to.
All my life, the song have changed.
It was not a good performance, and he knew it, though.
Knew it.
And that helps me more than anything, is that he actually knew it. He got to that last note and just kind of dropped the microphone and just kind of dropped his head. And I thought, okay, he knows.
I know people voted because they felt bad and they didn't want to see him cry.
Hang in there, buddy. Wipe those tears off.
But I don't see how that's being nice to Lazaro. I think the nicest thing to do for Lazaro is to send him on his way and give him a good 3 months to work on those vocals, to work on his stage presence and confidence, so that he can kill it on the Idol tour this summer. Otherwise, he's in the quicksand and he's sinking. Why would you vote for another week of Lazaro being stuck in the quicksand?
It's a good point. I see what you're saying, and I'm just gonna let it go, because it's the hardest thing in the world to be like, yes, he should have been sent home.
We'll say this, in closing, this was Paul's best week on the show. Okay, maybe the falsetto parts were a little hinky.
But that middle part where he hit that like strong belty note. And then they panned to the judges, and the judges were like,
They looked like Devin Velez in the middle of a performance. That's how expressionless they were.
Michael Slezak.
I know. I really punched my ticket to hell this week. Do you want to give me a penance to do between now and next week?
You're going to need to listen to Lazaro in my life 25 times before next week.
Oh my God, you are worse than the nuns who taught me 1st and 3rd grade. All right, on that note, before this gets any uglier, we're going to call it an episode.
Good.
I'm Haley Steinfeld, and you're watching ENTV.
Hi, my name is Kieran Shipka, and you're watching ENTV.
Aubrey Plaza, ENTV. I just touched it with my mouth, sorry.